Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
The Eric Zane Show Podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Hello to you all. For many of you, you're working today, and you're kind of getting in that mode for the people that will be coming to your home as you celebrate Thanksgiving. And that's good. A word of advice from a wise, old, decrepit man. That would be me. If you're planning on doing something new with the turkey, like let's say you're one of these guys that says, I'm gonna smoke it this year. I'm going to smoke the bird. Have backup bird. If this is the first time you've done it, have your backup bird. Actually make a second bird. Okay, because you got no wiggle room at that point. If it comes out fucked, and it might, sometimes that shit's tricky if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't want to have everybody all pissed off and hating you because of your shit smoke bird. All right? I've never smoked a bird, but I'm sure if I had the skill and the preparation, if I did it, it would be perfect because everything I touch in the kitchen turns to gold. All right? Meticulous. So, in fact, if I was smoking a bird, I would not have backup bird because if I'm doing it, it's going to be perfect. All right. What about if you're a deep fry bird guy? Some of you like that deal, or maybe you're trying it for the first time. Let's start with the basics. Make sure that wherever you're actually frying the bird is outdoors and on cement. Don't do it on your deck, idiot. And make sure when you lower the bird in, you do it slow. You know, the ice particles and the water on the bird have a tendency to, explode when it hits the oil. Have your thermometer ready to make sure that your stupid bird is done so that you don't kill your freaking guests. And for the love of God, brine your bird. That's right. Put it in right now. Put it in a gigantic pot of salt water. Now, it isn't as simple as just that. Look it up. The internet is your friend. Look up about brining the bird. It seasons it perfectly. And it's not at all dry when you cook it. It makes it it is absolutely a game changer. If you've ever gone to someone's house and they serve the turkey and you can just see it's as dry as a bone, like when they're cutting it, like sometimes people use those electric knives when they're cutting it and you can see like little bits of white turkey shit just falling off of it, and you can tell it's as dry as drywall just by looking at it. That's because whoever made the bird did not brine the bird. This is something that has to happen. I started brining birds a few years ago, and I've talked about it every year since. If you don't brine the bird, you're an asshole, and you're going to make shitty food. For your old pal Eric Zane, it's Eric, Diana, Madison, Madison's boyfriend Ash, and the NFK driving across the great state of Michigan to go be with my dad for his 88th Thanksgiving. I take it back. It's at Charity Scam Mike's house with my stepsister/sister Elizabeth and their 2 kids, Chloe, Sophia. My dad, Joanne. So there's 11 of us as far as I know, maybe more. The idea is get there, eat, get home probably 9, 10 o'clock at night. Podcast Friday. Yeah, I no day off. I won't podcast a new show on Thanksgiving. I do have a Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast ready to go. And, okay, what did I write down for Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast? What segments are we going to do? All right. On tomorrow's Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast, I am going with, let's see, my first podcast after being fired from WBBL. My first 25 minutes of that podcast. I called it Episode 001, A New Hope. Star Wars nod right there. So tomorrow, well, yeah, the 24th at midnight, that will drop, as the kids say. Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast Thanksgiving extravaganza. Now, whenever I say something extravaganza, that means it's not anything extravagant at all. Segment 1, my first podcast after my firing from WBBL. So I sat down here and spoke for about 25 minutes. I told the story of getting shit canned by BBL, which a lot of you have already heard before, but this is 2 days after it happened. And I sat here burping on the mic, drinking NAs on Sunday, January 6th, in my unfinished room and with my garbage equipment. When you listen to that, you'll hear various like audio burps and chirps that like, wait, what just happened there? It's because I didn't have anything really secured in terms of how I wanted the show to sound. But I was able to, I managed to record it. And I had a cell phone in front of me doing it on Facebook Live. And there you go. That was the start of this. And nothing's really changed since then. I have a segment called Some Story where I told a 10-year-old to quit crying at a 5K road race. I have another moment where I hurt myself. I have my description of the brawl at the world-famous Juicy Seafood Kickin' Crab. A segment titled The Time I Made Diana Think She Was About to Die, like going to die, like cancer. And while limo driving, I witnessed something that looked like a scene from the movie World War Z. It's a 1 hour and 37-minute show for tomorrow as you do your thing with your Thanksgiving preparations. Now, if you're hosting, that's serious stress. If you are hosting a Thanksgiving bash, that is some real heat. Because not only are you making the food and entertaining, but the house has to be clean and no one wants to help you. And, you know, it's just fucked. It's just a shit show. If you have to choose, abandon all cleaning. Maybe get the actual feces streaks out of the toilet. But for the love of God, do not get bogged down by that. Focus on the food. Okay? The second you get, one thing at a time, the second you get distracted, something gets burnt, something gets fucked up. Avoid all that. If these sons of bitches in the house do not want to help, okay? If they're busy screwing around, sleeping in, not helping you, okay? Be ready to throw them under the bus to your guests. And warn them. Say, look, we're going to need to work as a group here, or else everything's going to be a disaster. And I am focusing on the food. So you have to, kid number 1, you clean that bathroom and your bedroom. Kid number 2, you clean that bed, all that shit. Husband, fucking get to it. You ever go to someone's house and it's so clean, you're like, there's no way you did all of this today. And it drives me crazy. Like, I visit my buddy Jimmy and his house is spectacularly clean. I'm like, how do you do this? I don't know. I mean, my God. Everywhere I go in my house, it's a catastrophe. I've talked about this before. Trash it, clean it. Trash it, clean it. There is no a clean as I go. I mean, everywhere you look in this house. Now, what you see right now on this camera, I've made this very, very clear. A lot of times you'll see me on this show, and this is what you'll see. All this shit within the view of the camera. And then I immediately grab it and move it so that you can't see it. It's a trick. But just so you know, there's shit everywhere here. Random. The most random. And I'd like to go over that with you right now. This is all within my reach. This is a check from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. This is a check I wrote to me. Glasses, hat, light bulbs. Fucking light bulbs. Dirty towel. This right here is one of those things that you put on a gas can. So, you know, it's a little screw-on thing that goes on the spout where the gas comes out. You put this thing on there so that the fumes don't leave when you're transporting the gasoline. Why the fuck would this be here? A set of Barbie headphones, which go on Mother Mary over there. Some of you may or may not know what the fuck that is. Checkbook number 1. Checkbook number 2. Old-ass Powerball ticket. Coins. Numerous pens. Of course, a dry erase marker. Busted iPad keyboard. More trivia cards. And bottle cap from Coors Edge, which is a pretty good non-alcoholic beer. I kind of like that Coors Edge shit. I think it might be better than Bush NA. This Jack notebook with all sorts of shit in it. Oh, my God. Just scribble scrabble everywhere. And this is wash, rinse, repeat. The whole house. The whole house. You should see my garage. Oh, my God. It is so fucking embarrassing. In fact, the day that I almost sawed my foot off with the chainsaw, it's still out. Like it's laying right in the garage, on the floor of the garage. The room stinks like too much dirty dog. Oh. Kent brings up a great point. He says, this is like what's in Hot Wings' wallet. No, that's true. That is absolutely true. I just hope it's not as boring. That poor guy. Eric doesn't return items loaned to him. Now we see why. What did you loan me? Who are you? I was going to say, who is that? Or who is you? KG_0915. Eric doesn't return items loaned to him. Now we see why. Well, look, let me just tell you, that is true. That is absolutely true. Case in point, just the other day. I think it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday. I get a phone call from our dear friend Janine, who, when all of the, Kendall, yes, Kendall. Kendall, all right, let me back up. Kendall loaned me when you go running, you have a belt with those water bottles in it. And so if you let me borrow it, it goes into the abyss. And there's a good chance you won't get it back. And I did that to him. And then one day his kids are school-age kids. They want to start going and getting some exercise. And it was like 104 degrees out. And they go, "Hey, Dad, do you have a water belt that we can?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Oh, no, Uncle Eric took it." "Oh, fucking shit." Oh, my God. No, that's absolutely true. I took your shit. I should probably buy you another one. I still have the one. But you're absolutely right. When all of the bridesmaids came over to spend the night here on the day before the wedding, we had in the basement all these inflatable beds, okay? And so we had borrowed them from a couple of people. This one sweet lady, Janine, who was at the wedding with her husband, Kirk. And so, here we are now 3-4 days later, and they're all still, inflated and downstairs. I haven't even been down there. She says, "Hey," calls me, "we're getting set to travel to go visit family, and we're going to need some our inflatable beds back. Can we come get them? Can we come to your house and take the air out and put them back into the bags and can we take them from you?" And I'm like, yes, I am going to do all of that. I will bring them to you. "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm sure. I feel like such a cock." Shit. So did that, wrapped them up neatly. Had we not gotten that phone call, they would have been in the basement until Madison got married. And I would have said, "There you go, you and your bridesmaids. It's all set up for you. It's perfect." Chris, apparently a spirit animal, he's said more than once, "Now, this is exactly how I live. I leave shit wherever I last used it." And then when it comes to finding something, oh, fuck. If I need a screwdriver, I'm like, where would a screwdriver be? There's no way it's in the toolbox. It's probably in the bathroom. So terrible. Really bad habit. I was going somewhere with this. Where was it? Oh, shit. It's going to be like this today. I'm just going to let you know that at 3 minutes prior to the start of this show, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I have it. It's just kind of slapped together. I should remind you that Dear Meathead, that's the one thing I do have going, is happening in 37 minutes with my beloved dad. Send a question, Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. All right. Yesterday on the Patreon bonus podcast, first of all, let me just tell you that one of the audience members has developed a terrific impression of Trump. And I shared this for the last 2 days on the Patreon. And so I did it on the first day, and like 2 days ago. In fact, I'm going to share that with you now. And I'm going somewhere with this. And if you've heard it on the Patreon, well, now we're going to introduce this to everyone else.
Eric Zane, this is President Trump leaving you a voicemail. I've got so many people that are calling me up and they're saying things, they're telling me things. So many people, Eric, you know. They're telling me that you're in your little dinky podcast above your little garage, slandering the great patriots from the Boomer Bunker show. They say that Boomer Bob and John Domingo are tremendous hosts, and their audience is full of true American swingers and great patriots. Patriots, need I remind you, that have helped uncover wonderful evidence that shows Biden stole the election and the Dominion voting machines in Michigan, all fraudulent. Now these patriots are working with my great pal, Mike Lindell, and they're going to expose you for the fraud you are. And we'll all soon see how you're linked into all this. I understand you've been getting a lot of legal letters. Such a big fraud you are, Eric. Big Fraud Zane, they call you. We're watching so very closely.
Okay, so Big Fraud Zane. And let me just say, without hyperbole, that is the best impression of Trump I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot. From the emphasis to the repeating of the phrases and the silly words that he uses. It's great. So I did that, and right away people are like, who is it? And then I had another voicemail left. All right, now I'm going to play that one too. So yesterday I said, oh, hey, look at former president left another voicemail.
Big Fraud Zane is your pal, President Trump calling. I told you we'd be watching closely. And people are telling me. Anonymous informants even, like a guy named Kenney. If you can believe this, apparently you played my voicemail on your little show to your disgusting little followers. And you know, I'm pretty used to it. You gotta give me credit for that. No one in American history has been more hunted than me. I'm a victim, really. And I was just a phone call away from calling America's mayor and having him draft a letter about playing my voicemails without my permission on your show. But then I thought, maybe we're not so different, you and I. Maybe we're not. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but maybe we're not so different. Someone tells me the other day, if you can believe this, apparently I'm the most impeached president in American history. Crazy to think about. I think they should investigate all the old presidents. You gotta wonder, what was Taft up to? I imagine he took quite a few documents when he left. He was a big guy Taft. Did you know, Eric, they raided my beautiful house in Florida. My beautiful estate here, really America's estate. And meanwhile, George Bush and Dirty Obama, what kind of things did they take? I think they took things. I think we all know they took things. And really, you and I aren't all that different. I understand you took things from your old show. I think you have an understanding about these things. Now, you kind of got a taste for what it's like to be hunted. After your recent letter, I think maybe we could do some great things together if you think about it. I've got a presidential run ahead of me, and, well, just think about it. We could really use someone like Big Fraud Zane. I mean, we already both agree that Tudor Dixon was pretty hot. What a shame. What a shame what happened up there in Michigan.
Ben says, if this dude is riffing, that's pretty impressive. Yes, that is all stream of consciousness. And what my point was it's one thing to come up with a couple of words of Trump, to impress. And, do an impression that actually sounds like him. But there you have sustained sentences. This is a rant in character with and staying that way for extended time is not easy work. That is a rare thing. So right away, the gears are going in my head. Boy, what can I do with this? Well, this is going to have to lead to me doing something a little further down the road. With playing those clips, I'll let you in a little bit as to what's going on behind my brain, or in my brain. I'm establishing the segments for what I want to do in the future. And I haven't quite figured out what, but I do have some things in my brain that I'm kind of leaving it alone right now, but letting it percolate.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches.
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
But, so yesterday I played clip number 2. And our beloved Kenney immediately outs who's doing it. Now, I had never said who's doing the voice. It's a member of the audience. And Kenney says, hey, so-and-so, don't wreck it, or don't let it get old, something like that. And I'm like, so I didn't say anything during the show. I didn't deride him or let him have it or scream at him or yell at him. And I've made it a point not to scream at him or yell at him because I don't want to upset him or make him, or hurt his feelings or any of that shit. I'm trying not to do that. Last time I like I said, I always feel bad when I do that. So I didn't want to fucking blow him up. So I wrote, Dear Kenney, I'm trying to establish some type of theater of the mind with the Trump impression. And I wouldn't even have read this had it not gone the way I'm about to tell you that it went. I said, avoid naming names as to who you think it is, please. And then in a silly way, I wrote, please limit your response to no more than 4 words, because he always writes me a book. His response was, you had people yesterday saying it was so-and-so. Now, I didn't know that. I had no idea that anyone said it was, but I'm just telling him what I saw. So I guess other people, but again, I didn't know that. I just thought it was him, and he's announcing it, and he's saying, yeah, don't wreck it. It's like, just shh. Think. Take it easy. No big deal. Just lay low a little. Linda says, I assumed it was the same person Kenney did, but I didn't say it. Why? Why didn't you say it? Did you think? Did you consider perhaps there was something going on? Maybe I was up to something? You had people say yesterday it was so-and-so. And I wrote, see previous text about number of words. And he wrote this. Don't worry. You won't see any more words from me. Don't worry. You won't see any more words from me. And I'm like, oh, my God. Why can't we just have a big boy conversation? What? Chris says, I told him on the chat, Eric is obviously having fun with this. I'm not going to spoil it. Now, look, whoever, I can't see it. Oh, Nate Bull writes, thank God. Now, come on. What the fuck? Don't say that about him. Amanda's back. She writes, Kenny's turning into me with the 6-month ban. Aram says, I guess Kenney chose the Zaniacs. Now, I didn't go out of my way to upset him. Come on. Are you serious? Don't worry. You won't see any more words from me. That's ridiculous. Oh, come on, man. Are you serious? Do I have to walk on eggshells? Come on, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, what in the world is going on over there?
What is going on? Well, I just woke up. I got today off. Some coffee.
Okay, well, what I meant was, it seems like you were visibly upset yesterday when you said, don't worry, you won't see any more words from me. What is going on?
Well, what do you want me to say, dude?
Well, I didn't insult you or attack you. I just said, hey, if you could keep that on the down low, that'd be great.
Okay, but it's me. And the fact that other people mentioned
I didn't know
who that was.
I did not know that. I have no idea who did that, Kenney. I didn't see it.
I don't know that. I don't know that you didn't see it. But the day before, I was in the chat and I was constantly asking on the Patreon chat, who is this? We must know. Who is it? I had no clue.
No, that's totally fine. But that's if my
wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. If I had known someone else was saying it, I would have. I don't know anyone else who did that. I can only reach out to the people that I know said something. And I just politely asked you. I said, please, twice. I said, please don't do that. That's it. That's all I said.
Twice? No, you didn't.
I read what I said. I said, please on it. I said, please don't reveal who that is. I'm establishing theater of the mind. It was no big deal.
Okay.
I didn't attack you. I didn't call you a terrible name.
Okay, I got you. I hear you. But I didn't know that you didn't see the other people saying it. So,
well, Kenney,
I know now, but when I read that, I was like, wow, because it's me. That's how it feels. So whatever.
Kenney, what part of what I wrote was inflammatory? I went into that intentionally knowing that you're...
Dude, I'm not saying any of it was inflammatory.
Okay, so what's the big deal?
Damn. What I'm saying is that the previous day, I had no clue. 2 other people mentioned it. I don't know that you didn't see those comments because you told me a while ago, if you remember, you see all the comments. You see everything. Do you remember telling me that?
Well, okay, I see them. I don't read all of them. I mean, they pop up in front of me.
Well, that's my point, though, is I don't know that you didn't see that other people did it.
Dude, look, I
had no clue who it was.
Kenney, I have no problem with you. I just asked politely, would you please not mention who's doing the Trump impression? And now that's it.
I got you. But, it's all good. We've had too much drama in the past, and, I'm sure people are sick of it. Nutball, whatever.
Nate, who cares about Nate? He's a fucking asshole.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, I don't either. Fuck that guy.
You know what's funny is we used to be friends, and he even ordered a T-shirt of yours with my fucking name on the back.
Yeah,
for himself.
Kenney, come on, man.
And then look, he started hanging out with Dean, and then he started hating me. Whatever, fuck that piece of shit.
Who? Nate?
Yeah,
I agree.
Hanging out with Dean, and then he started hating me.
Hey, Nate can suck our dicks.
No, I don't want him anywhere near mine.
Well, I want him to suck my dick. That's what you tell him. Say, Nate, that's it. Dick, suck it.
But look, if you want to know, and if anybody honestly gives a shit, there's something that's been on my mind, and I don't know if this is the place for it. I don't know if we should discuss it offline, but honestly, dude, you know that I have a lot of love for you.
Of course.
I always have. And, like, you giving the kidney and all that, dude, like,
dude,
I got a lot of respect for you.
You
man.
are my guy. You are my guy. I know where this is going.
No, I don't know if you do, because I don't feel like I'm your friend. I feel like I'm your content.
Well, you're both.
And I don't feel like I'm your friend anymore, man. I feel like I'm just content. So
you're both, Kenney. I'm telling you that.
Well, I'm telling you how I feel. And, like, people can talk all the shit in the comments that they want, but that's honestly how I feel. So.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Hopefully you'll come back around to feeling a little bit more positive. But I just didn't want anybody to mention all I wanted was no one to mention the name of the Trump person.
I get that. I totally understand that.
Awesome.
Now.
Perfect. Thank you.
But two people already had, so I was like, why did they get fussed at? You know what I mean?
All right, but now that I've cleared that up, you can forget that because I told you I didn't know that. So now we can just let all that go.
Right. It's all right.
I don't think it is, but I'm just telling you that was the dynamic. I didn't want you to get the impression that it was it's okay for everybody else to say it, but it's not okay for Kenney to say it. That would not be the case.
Okay, well, that's what I was feeling like yesterday.
I got it. Well,
I understand you today.
Yep. So now it's okay, right?
Right.
I
yeah,
hope so.
It's all good.
Look, yeah. Hey, dude, nothing but love. Nothing but love, and when you can believe it or not, I mean, it's okay. I don't want you upset.
Well, I'm just kind of bummed because of what I just said. I mean, that's the overlying thing or the underlying. What's wrong with me today?
I hear you.
Awake.
I know it. You don't feel the love. You feel like you're just content.
Yeah.
I understand it, and I'm going to be more cognizant of that because I don't want you to feel that way.
That's all right, man. I mean, if people love me or hate me as part of your show, it's still like if I'm involved and it makes people get them riled up because I say stupid shit or whatever. I mean, in the end, it's all good.
Well,
but, you know, it's
look,
still
I understand you getting upset about all of this. I understand why you feel the way you do. I hear you. I don't want you upset. You know, I really don't. I really don't. So that's why I'm telling you that I love you and everything's going to be okay.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know I love you too, even though you're an asshole most of the time.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I want you to shed all that negativity, and then I'll be more cognizant of that so that you don't feel that way. That's my goal.
All right. Well, my goal honestly was to just, if I listen, I listen. If I don't, I don't. But I was going to shut the fuck up.
Hey, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well,
Cole,
I kind of feel like I need to do that right now.
Well,
so.
You know what? You do you. You do you. I'm not going to get in the way of that. But I just wanted to clarify that I had no intent of hurting you when I asked you to quit saying the name of the Trump character.
Well, no, I believe you there. I don't think you're trying to hurt me. It's just kind of like, I was like, did he not see them other people? What the fuck?
That was, I know it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So there you go. I just wanted that to be cleared up. Cole is suggesting that as soon as I hang up with you, to give you 600 seconds.
Oh, that's okay. Can you find me?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I changed my username to go back to more like my gaming stuff because I participate in other Twitch channels. So.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know which one you are. Well, okay. You take care, and I hope we are in a better spot, and as time progresses, you will feel more comfortable.
Well, yeah, it's all good, man. I understand you now. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you.
Love you, brother.
Okay, let me do. Thank you. Bye. All right. Yeah, he was upset. He was upset. And fucking Nate over there, you filthy cocksucker. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus. I think he's going to tell you, Nate, to suck Kate's dick. That's where I think this is going, because that's Kenny's big one. If he has to drop the hammer, it's going to be on telling you to go suck someone's dick. And I tell you what, you don't want to be on the receiving end of a Kenney motherfucking. If Kenney motherfucks you, ugh. All right. Florida Man 814 says, that made me kind of sad. Kenney is loved by us. And I'm glad you say that, Florida Man 814. We have fun, but we love him, and we genuinely root for him in life. Amanda, not so much. She writes, so stupid. Chris agrees with Florida Man. I agree with Florida Man. I do not agree with Amanda, who, as now the spotlight is on her, for saying so stupid. Look at Brandis says, we love Kenney. Ryan agrees with Florida Man 814. Ben says, without Kenney, I would have never known about banana worms. See? Amanda clarifies, so stupid talking about the situation. Oh, bullshit. That's human interaction coming out on the show. That is something that was festering, and it needed to be taken care of. Chris writes, Amanda and Nutbull, the new power couple? Kyle Ryan says, everyone loves Kenney. Megan says, Kenney, love for life. Jesse says, I don't think I bust your balls ever, Kenney, but if I do, I'm 0% serious. Oh, my God, look at this. And then he adds, hashtag Team Kenney. All right. So and from me, I feel bad that he thought that, you only use me to make fun of me, and you don't, no, come on now. That is not true. I love you forever, as I do everyone. For the most part. Kind of. Sort of. Okay. So we got several people on here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and I must kick you all out. You must go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want to watch the rest of the show. You can also download the audio wherever you download podcasts. Just search Eric Zane Show. And if you ever want to send me an email, reach out on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Thank you. Facebook and Twitch, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Ram writes, I am on Team Kenney, but not Team Zaniacs. I mean the group formerly known as Zaniacs. All right. I am a supporter of the group formerly known as Zaniacs. I love them. There's only like 6 of them, but they bring me so much joy. What I do is I go, not when they're live, but I go to the Boomer Bunker, which I was told by the group formerly known as Zaniacs, Fucktard Dean and Fucktard Lonely Nick. They announced that the Boomer Bunker was canceled, but that's not true. I don't know what the fuck they were smoking. I think that I know the Boomer Bunker is in fact still a show. This is why I thank the Zaniacs. Because Aram says they will always be the Zaniacs. Yeah, in terms of ease of describing, sure, I guess so. Zaniacs is now a term of former audience members who now despise the show. But they all still listen and support me by listening. Field Not Found says the Castaways Facebook page, which, by the way, it was supposed to say cast-offs, but Andrea didn't know that word. So she called it Castaways, like the crew of fucking the SS Minnow. The Castaways Facebook page is so sad. Now, maybe 8 people actually active. Oh, yeah, we know that. And those same 8 people check out the Boomer Bunker. And what you do is you don't watch a Boomer Bunker live because then they'll know you're watching. So you wait till it's done, and then you go back and you see their comments. And fucking sick fuck Dean is on there, the most recent episode, saying that the governor's election and all the most recent election in Michigan, he's going, it was rigged. The whole election was rigged. And I'm like, ick. He's still, it's like, that whole type of like, he says those things, then the eyebrows go up and you're like, oh no. Oh God. Chris, I saw you there. And I love Chris here because he watches that show and he sees those comments and he's like, oh God. He says he laughed out loud. But you didn't say that you laughed. You didn't call him out in that show, which I understand why you wouldn't do that. But I like how you come here and say, yeah, I laughed out loud. That's entertaining to me. The reason why I love them is because that shit is funny. Linda writes, yeah, Dean, your sister rigged her signatures to get on the ballot. Fuck. That's a joke. That's a good joke, though. I love it. Aram says the Zaniacs are people who hate the show but supposedly wish it their best. Chris adds, I don't say shit. You're smart. Jesse says, Zane, do you miss Patriot/Lonely Nick's dropping his entire paycheck on gift Twitch subs, which I learned from Plain Talk John that Twitch keeps like 50%. Well, no, I don't. And here's why. I always felt uncomfortable with that because I know he doesn't make a lot of money. And so I was always like, God damn, dude, quit it. Stop doing that. You're making horrible decisions. And frankly, I should have said, hey, seriously, don't do that anymore. Now he needs that money for to download a internet divorce lawyer. Download a form from an internet divorce lawyer. God, that is ugly. What a disaster. I'm telling you, I knew that one was coming when like 6-8 months ago, he published to Facebook the old, I got to get my temper in check. I've always had a bad temper. And he didn't like say specifically what he had done, but obviously it was a marital issue of some type. And everybody knows that the day you want to try to turn it around, you got to fall on the sword publicly and announce to the world that, yeah, I'm bad. I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I'm going to fix it. You know, in an effort to make it seem like you've changed your ways. Florida man 814 speculates, I think he pulled a random Joe. Any old Joe, average Joe. Who knows? Okay. All right, so we've gotten a lot done here. I went to bed and I was legitimately, I felt bad. I felt bad because I knew Kenney was upset, and I'm not even bullshitting you. I was like, what do? I go, well, I'm going to talk about it on the show. I think it's important that this get out there. I knew he was upset, but I honestly didn't want to jump into the whole realm of me saying, I'm sorry, because I didn't intend to hurt him in any way, shape, or form. So basically what the point of all of this was clarification. Clarification that other than Amanda and Nate, I and everyone loves you. There isn't one person who's enjoying this live show who disagrees with that statement, with the exception of your future wife, Amanda, and Nate. And Nate's just fucking with you, by the way. Nate doesn't dislike you. He just wants you to fuck off. That's it. Some people do that. They like people, but they tell them to go fuck themselves. Right? That's right. Look, there's Kenney. He's back. Zildjian. Armenian symbol maker. Kenney says Nate isn't joking. Well, I'm just telling you that I think he is. Now, you might know more information than me. You might have called him up and he said, I'm serious. I want you to die. But I don't think that's part of Nate's makeup. I don't think he would do that. I think he's just fucking with you because he knows that you'll react. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm just happy. Look at Nate, the fucker. He's laughing hysterically. Do you guys want me to try to get Nate and Kenney on at the same time? Is that what you people want? I need everybody to be on the same page. Kenney needs to pick up the phone when I call. Ben says do it. Linda says please. Florida man says don't do it. Brandis says don't. All right, I'm calling Nate right now. Amanda says waste of time.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
All right. We're going to have to reconvene on that because it's almost Dear Meathead time. Kenney says ask why he let Dean make him hate me. Well, that's a question for you. You could ask him that. You should reach out to him. Because I like Nate a lot. Nate, to me, has been nothing but absolutely a saint. I love Nate. And anytime I tell him to fuck off, I'm totally kidding. I think you and Nate would be fast friends. That statement hurts my head. Who hates whom? Kenney wrote, ask why he, referring to Nate, let Dean make him hate me. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't know what's going on there. I am not entirely fluent in Kenney. All right, so I've accomplished a lot here. I think, kind of like settled Kenney down, and he's back commenting. That's saying a lot. 56 minutes ago, he had the blues, and we have turned the day around for him. And yeah, that's a big deal. Chris says he's saying Nate let Dean convince him, Nate, to hate Kenney. That sounds weird to me. I don't know if I believe that. Kenney says, we used to be cool, then he hung out with Dean and started to hate me. I don't know. One day we'll get to the bottom of this. I promise you that. All right. Before I say another word, thank you again to Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance, for supporting the YouTube channel. Thank you to Blue Frost IT for supporting me on Twitter while it is still a thing, I guess. There's still word that it's just going to implode, but I don't know if I really believe that. All right. Ad-free Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for the Patreon to get 11 bonus shows, usually every week. We have the daily Patreon bonus podcast, which is a follow-up to this podcast. When I get done with this one, shortly thereafter, I do that one. The Lost Zane recordings, Mondays and Fridays. Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. Yesterday, Dale took on a very, very sweet young lady by the name of Nicole. You have the Insane Asylum, 2-hour music-driven radio show, part of Northern Michigan's Q100. I make it available commercial-free. Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, missing that this week. Who Are These Zanes? Missing that this week. Ben can't record. Sometimes those things happen. All on Patreon. Ad-free Patreon. Excuse me. Oh, damn it. Boy, I haven't been in a mode lately where I kind of just go, and I get on too much of a roll, and I go for like 1 hour without doing ads. I'm not kidding you. When I started to do this show, it was, you better have your ads done every 30 minutes max. And here I am an hour, and I have none done. If you're listening to the audio podcast, sit through the sponsors, for fuck's sake. Don't, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll bargain with you. You can bump it up to 1 1/4 speed or 1 1/2, but you have to listen. Hello to my friends at Serra Honda Granville, Serra. Serra Honda Granville on Kennewa Avenue, just north of 44th in Granville, Michigan. Go there, test drive a brand new Honda, then sit down with one of the multi-talented people there who sell the cars and tell them what you want on the car. Drive home, know that you're good to go with all the financing you need, or maybe you're rich as hell and you bought it cash. And then you wait for your car to be built, show up on the lot, they prep it, fill it full of gas. Do pay for the floor mats. That's my advice. Don't go with the factory ones. They're garbage. All cars have garbage floor mats. And then there you go. A few weeks after you make that decision, that's how the car selling industry works these days. Or if you want a car to drive off the lot today with, that sounded weird. If you want a car today, go there and check out Michigan's largest selection of certified pre-owned cars. And buy one, drive it off today, like new, under warranty. Serra Honda Granville. Bennett Flooring Installation. These are the folks who want to install the flooring brand new in your home. The least expensive way to install the flooring professionally. Bennett Flooring Installation. Online at bennettflooringinstallation.com. They'll show up at your house, measure the room or rooms that you want the new flooring installed. By the end of the day, you have the estimate as to how much it's going to cost you. If you really want to make this a cost-effective thing, rip out the old flooring yourself. Do the heavy lifting, the demolition, I guess, and get rid of it. The flooring that I want you to install into your home, I want you to buy it from Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet in Granville, Michigan. Go there today for the big Turkey Day sale. I have no idea if there's a Thanksgiving sale. But anyway, I do know that there's every type of flooring under the sun there in that big old warehouse. Walk in there and just pick out what you want. Whatever you want, they have for you there. And you can leave with it. It isn't like you go there and then like put in an order and then you got to pick it up. You go there, bring your truck or your minivan or whatever it is, pick out what you want, and then you leave with it. That's it. It's priced ridiculously cheap, cheaper than anybody else in the entire state. So it's well worth the drive because of how much they buy in advance and then it sells. So they get it at a discounted rate because they buy so much. And then when you mention my name, you save 10%. Thank you, Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. I'm about to bring in Dad for Dear Meathead. Okay? All right, Kenney is back in a big-ass way. Look at him. So I'm going to read some of these comments. I thought Kenney was getting pictures taken with Dean during the summer meeting in Michigan. Yeah, I think aren't you still pals with Dean? Kenny? I thought you were pals with all those Zaniacs. Ben says, I met everyone once at the BBL 1-year anniversary party, and that was it. I don't know anyone, really. I need to see what you look like. I forget. Amy says, if this Nate guy was so easily convinced that you are terrible, then Nate wasn't a good friend to begin with. There you go. Words of encouragement. Kenny writes to Aram, I did that because of my other friends there, but I do not consider Dean a friend. I can be civil and keep my mouth shut as a courtesy for actual friends. It's called being an adult.
I'm a 50-year-old man doing what a 50-year-old man should.
All right. Kenny says, no, Eric, I did that because of my other friends there, but I do not consider Dean a friend. I can be civil and keep my mouth shut. Okay, so that's what you... All right. All right. Gotcha. What about that time you told Kate to go suck Dean's dick, though? When you apologized, did you have to say, Kate, I'm sorry I told you to suck Dean's dick? Or did you go the route of, Kate, I'm sorry I was mean? Because I think if you really wanted to make some waves, you would have to say, like in tears, I'm sorry I told you to suck Dean's dick. And then you write, come on, man. Well, I didn't say it. You said it. Look, I can't get in trouble for saying what you said. Florida Man 814 says that was one of my favorite moments ever, and it was 100% deserved. Kenny kicked her right in the see you next Tuesday. Oh, shit. I'm glad you did it. I think she does. Fuck her.
Hello, Grand Rapids.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, my son.
Sorry I missed your, I usually give you a call the day before. I forgot.
That's all right. You're entitled to one or two forgiving.
Yep. All right. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's a great way to start.
Yes. I'll tell you, you needed a lot of rest.
Oh, you're talking about after the party?
Yeah, at the party and after the party and all. I mean, what a party you had. Holy cow, that was the biggest wedding I've ever seen.
That was a lot of love in that room. Did you see me crying during the daddy-daughter dance?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Oh, my gosh, that was a tearjerker.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, honey.
I cannot believe my little girl is, one of my little girls is married, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's how life goes, honey. Joanne just reminded me today how old I was. I started thinking, holy cow, I'm closer to the grave.
Oh, no, you can't say that. You know, you are...
Well, hey, years determines what's going to happen to you.
Well, you know, you Armenians live a long time. You've probably got another 50 years.
No, I don't think I wanted that long.
As usual, numerous people came up to me and they were shocked that Joanne is 87. Yes, is it 87?
Yeah.
They were like, my God, she look. And I said, and I've said that on this in our conversations many times. I was like, you are somehow able to maintain a youthful appearance. It's really, really fantastic.
Isn't she gorgeous?
She really is.
Yeah, my wife is gorgeous.
She does my hair for me.
Joanne says I do her hair.
No,
Elizabeth. Yes. Let's see.
And by the way, you really look good.
Oh, thank you. You know, just threw on a tuxedo. That's it. Just threw on a tuxedo.
You really, I was so proud of you.
It was quite an event, and we'll be back with you tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
All right.
So I will see you at Mike's house there, and that will be a lot of fun.
You going to cook?
Well, it's funny you say that. I'm making my famous Armenian sweet potatoes.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be... Make sure you do not forget your insulin this time.
No, I've got them all the time.
If I'm understanding correctly, I'm not sure if you remember, but at the wedding, there was a mishap, and you left the insulin at the hotel.
That's right.
Yep.
So now you were sitting next to a physician that is your son-in-law, or your I guess that's not your son-in-law. What do you call it? Sam's husband, Jason, is a doctor. So
yeah.
He was monitoring you.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was like, all right, we got to make sure he doesn't go. He was like making sure you were eating the right foods. So that's a good thing. I was happy with that. But everything worked out. So now we will.
It was perfect.
Okay, so that will be a good time. I have some questions for you, and if anybody in the audience has a question, as always, you can email it to me, Eric@ericzaneshow.com. Ben writes, Dear Meathead and Joanne, Eric told us about his daughter's wedding. Do you have a favorite memory from Eric's wedding or anyone else's wedding?
I do.
She does. I don't remember a thing.
Okay, Joanne, what is your favorite?
When we were taking the pictures and Mike got on his knees and put his shoes on the end of his knees because he was...
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic, and I'll describe it to everybody. Was that, whose wedding was that?
That was yours.
Your wedding.
At my wedding, we wanted a group photo with all of this bunch. And instead of just kind of like dropping to a knee, Mike got on his knees but put his shoes on the ground and kneeled into his shoes. He looked like a dwarf.
And then Jim Marquis did the same thing.
Yeah, so it looked like a whole family of oddball looking dwarfs.
A bunch of comedians, I'll tell you that right now.
A fantastic photo. Legendary photograph. I got to get my hands on that next time I see you.
Okay, I got it.
Hey, I didn't see your brother around too much. What was it? Where was he?
You mean brother Jim?
Huh?
You mean
Jimmy?
Jimmy?
He was mingling.
He was doing what?
Mingling.
He was mingling, according to Joanne.
There was a couple times he was on the dance floor with you.
Yeah.
So he was there. You saw him there. I saw you dancing and using your cane as a guitar.
Yeah.
Everybody loved that. Okay. Very good. Off and running on another edition of Dear Meathead. Let's see. Dear Meathead. Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
John writes, my wife wants to go cut our Christmas tree down the day after Thanksgiving. I think that's way too early. Do you have an okay date to set up the Christmas tree?
First of all, is this a real tree that's in the ground?
That's what he's saying.
Why would you cut it down?
Well, you can't get it in the house if you don't.
Yeah, I got it. Haven't you ever heard of...
If it's in the ground, let it grow.
It's a Christmas tree, right?
Well, yeah.
So what? It's a living tree.
So...
No, I'm one that is not in favor of cutting down fresh trees and all that that's in the ground.
Yeah.
If I had a tree for any possible time in the ground, I'd let it grow.
Okay, so you're going to say put up a fake tree in the house?
Well, no. If that's what it is.
Well, then you're saying no to any Christmas tree?
No, I cut it down.
Okay, so you've had a change of heart. You go cut down the tree, put the decorations on it.
Christmas tree.
You know, a lot of these people have actual Christmas tree farms.
Yes.
You know, where they grow hundreds of them. But some people have property and they go out on their property and cut the tree down.
You pick them and take them home.
Yeah, I think that's what this guy's doing. So,
yeah, that's okay.
But when? He wants to know when. Because the wife is like, day after Thanksgiving, we got to go get the Christmas tree. And
Yeah, generally I'd take it down right away,
No, go get it, man.
I mean, go get it.
Okay, so you're going to go get it the day. You think that's okay to put the Christmas tree up the day after Thanksgiving?
Yeah. I like to clean things up.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. I don't have a problem with anything, but a lot of people do it right after Thanksgiving, getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all, just a tree you've had. It serves its purpose.
You need a lot of time for it to be up.
And, hey, get rid of it.
No.
Cut it down.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right, Dad. How about this one? Chris has an uncle, his uncle Devin, who is kind of a slob and he swears all the time. So he writes, "Here, Ruben, I have a question for you. My uncle Devin is very messy. He smudges random foods on counters, the fridge, and salt shakers. He doesn't wipe his hands off before he touches anything. He also curses at the television and says the N-word in front of people. Do you have any advice for welcoming such a person along with their obviously soiled pants? What should I do about Uncle Devin?"
Just ignore the hell out of him and don't even associate with him.
Well, wait. He's part of the family, though.
I don't care. That's not a good thing.
Okay.
I mean, I'm raising a family. I'm trying to teach them some manners or language and this or that, and I cuss and swear and all that in front of them. No way.
Yeah, you gotta maybe have a talk ahead of time.
I hope he's listening to me, but you're a jerk doing that.
Yeah, you can't be saying the N-word to the TV, for God's sake.
Oh, no way.
I mean, what kind of a sick...
You can't say that in your family.
You should never speak that word, period.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you 100%.
Maybe pull Uncle Devin aside and say, "Look, I know you have a potty mouth. Can you kind of just keep it in check? And also wipe your hands. Don't touch anything unless you get the food off." I guess
a slob is a slob, but then again, it don't have to remain as a slob.
All right, a slob.
Clean yourself up. I'm sorry I'm rough on you, buddy.
Hey, that's okay.
But I mean that's a person of yours that dealing with you, and I'm really pouting off on that. I don't like people that have got filthy mouth and this and that.
No.
Especially father. My God. You're raising kids, maybe. I don't know what the situation is.
You say that in mixed company, and then you're touching the cabinets and making them all gross. Yeah, people don't like that stuff. I'm with you.
I don't know.
Thank God we don't have to deal with that. Anyway, this is Nathan. Nathan writes, "Dear Meathead, my 12-year-old daughter, for some reason, I think she's a little immature, has been laughing hysterically because she draws penises on things. So the kid's going around drawing ding-dongs on paper and wherever she can draw it. The dry erase board." He says, "What do you think about that, Meathead? My 12-year-old's drawing ding-dongs on all these different spots in the home and laughing at it. What should I do? Is this okay?"
It's not okay. First of all,
Pose for her.
do you want to say who poses for her?
Oh, no.
But I don't understand where the kid would come from that will do that. There's got to be some kind of an exposure somewhere.
Yeah, the kid's been exposed to penis is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, how would she know what it looks like?
Yeah, that's right. How does it go into Joanne? How do you know what she looks,
Yeah, that's weird.
Like?
That's all weird. I mean, you got to tell that kid to knock it off.
Somebody is exposing that child to, or did expose to that.
Yeah, get to the bottom of that.
Right,
you got to figure it out, and then...
So wait a minute. Are you suggesting that the dad walk up to the child and say...
I don't know who does it.
Say, hey, you need to tell me who showed you the penis.
Yeah. How did you know what a penis looks like? You got to find out.
Absolutely.
And then go to the core of it. This is ridiculous. And then next thing you know, the language will change.
Right. Yeah. Then it starts. She's starting to use slang terms that are just. It's complete potty talk. You can't have that.
Yeah.
Cannot have that.
I hate that.
Behind that, he's looking into.
You never know.
Joanne says there's something behind that. You better look into that.
Yeah, exactly.
How old is this child?
The child is 12 years old, and she's apparently addicted to drawing penises.
Oh boy.
Maybe she's trying to get her parents to talk about sex. Who knows?
I don't know. Hopefully it isn't something like she wants her dad to show her his penis.
Well, somebody showed it to her.
Yeah.
She didn't know what it looked like.
That's right.
Wow.
You heard Joanne.
Yeah.
You did hear Joanne, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And you know what? I'll just say this. When I was growing up, at no point did you ever show me your penis, and I'm very thankful.
Oh, my God. No way.
To
me, that was a personal thing.
You don't go around just showing your penis to children.
Oh, my God. Oh, what? I don't want to show it to adults either.
No, you don't show your penis to anybody. There's only one person who should see your penis.
It's me.
Well, two people.
Well, okay. Yeah, right. I forgot that.
Showing it to me.
Well, there you go. There's pretty much just you and one other. I'm going to leave it right there. No.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to leave the penis talk behind at this point.
And I'm serious. This guy better be serious about training that child. That is, that's a no-no, and that's it. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, but how do you said train the child? How do you train them to not know what a penis is?
Is this a male child?
I think it's a female child.
That's worse.
Oh yeah, that's rough. This is rough stuff to be sure.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That kid got involved with something that.
Well, she might have seen a picture.
Yeah, maybe she saw a picture or something. You know.
Well, how did a picture get to the hands of a child?
Right. Who's going around saying, "Here, 12-year-old, let's sit around and look at some penis."
That sounds pretty funny, but it's really ridiculous.
Hey, what do you want to do? You want to play catch? No, let's look at penises.
I don't understand the makeup of the parents.
Right.
Get her parents to talk to her about it.
If the parents hear about it, why don't they, taper the end of it that, hey, you cannot be doing that, period.
Because I know you want to, Eric.
The parents to talk to.
Let's got the big butt dick because I know you want to.
Did you hear what she said?
I did hear that, yes.
Oh, maybe so.
All right.
I'm not very philosophical. I'm a cut and dry type of a guy.
Yeah, you don't want to get philosophical about something like that.
No.
I raised a lot of girls.
Oh yeah, girls, they get curious,
Oh yeah.
Well, so do boys.
But my daughters never do penises.
No. Straight shooters as far as you know. All right, here we go. Brian writes, Dear Meathead, this is from Benny in Knoxville. Benny from Knoxville, Tennessee writes,
Hi, Benny.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and Joanne. And
Thank you. Same to you and your family.
He writes, I know a guy named Nate, and we used to be friends. All of a sudden, Nate started hanging out with a bad crowd. And since then, he's been mean to me. He tries to hurt my feelings, and it sometimes makes me cry. Should I beat Nate up?
Well, first of all, you got to let Nate know how you feel about what she does.
Yeah, you got to tell Nate, Benny, that he's being hurtful to you.
Yes. And then if it's continued, so I'm sorry, but I really don't need your friendship because of what's going on here. Just be straight.
Be straight with Nate.
Yes.
Straight Nate.
Yes. Hey, you will lose Nate, but you'll find another Nate somewhere else that suits your personality. If your personality is good and kind, my makeup is totally kindness and goodness.
Of course.
Unless someone unless someone hurts me, then I'll just back off and get away from him. I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to do nothing.
All right, I'm writing this down. My makeup is kindness.
Yes. I mean, if someone's giving me love, respect, understanding, because two guys are two guys, that doesn't mean they cannot be loving to each other, caring for each other, taking care of each other's families. You know, hey, this is how good things happen.
All right.
Like kindness to each other.
Yeah, being sweet to each other. This Nate guy needs to get his act together.
Absolutely. Nate, you're a jerk if you're going to keep that up the rest of your life.
Dad, I have breaking news. Your son, Paul Anthony Rising, is enjoying the show live as we speak. And he says, Happy Thanksgiving to you.
To me?
Yes.
Paul, I'll tell you something. I have actually missed you. I didn't want to see you pull away from me. And you did.
That is very sweet. You know, there's a lot of things to unpack there, a lot of hurt feelings over the years. And, you know, you're both very loving people now, and you're both in very good spots in your lives. It's.
I don't know why this happened, but you were my son.
He is your son.
Well, he pulled away.
He is yours. I think you both pulled away.
We both did.
You're both, that is your son, and you both are in a wonderful spot. You're both very observant of the Bible, and you have a lot of love in your hearts. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys got back together, because you do have a lot of love for him, and you did adopt him. He is your son, and I think that anything can be repaired.
That's right, Paul. You don't need to pull away. We need to pull together.
Right, because you both kind of pulled away, but, you know, I mean, sometimes it is meant to be, other times it is not. And I'm just happy that you're both here.
Well, I'd like an opportunity to do all of these things.
All right, Dad. Well, I love you guys so very much. I appreciate you, and I will see you coming up in less than a day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Are you bringing that huge monster truck of yours?
The RV? No, I'm coming in a car. Just a car. Just a car.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love you guys.
I love you too, and thanks for the opportunity.
The pleasure is all mine.
We will see you tomorrow.
You know what? Let me just finish with this, going over some of the things you just finished saying. I am entitled to one or two forgivings, was something you said.
Yes.
Then you wrote, or you said, a slob is a slob, but then again, a slob doesn't have to be a slob. And then
That's right.
You had, you will find another Nate to suit your needs.
That's right.
And last but not least, two guys are two guys.
Right. These are all absolutions.
Okay. Well, I love you guys. I will see you shortly. And
all right.
Well, tomorrow.
Love you too, honey.
Love you, honey.
Okay. Talk to you then.
God bless.
See you. Bye-bye. God bless. There you go. Push-up Paul in attendance. That makes me happy. Paul, can I describe what your last couple of days has been like? I haven't spoken of it, but I'm curious. Can I get into what you've had to do? Oh, good. He says yes. Poor fucking Paul. Jesus Christ. Oops, sorry. 2 days ago, and he's smart because he started to feel bad. He had a pain in his chest. And so, you know, Paul's a few years older than me. He's like 62. And he starts feeling, tightness in his chest, and it hurt him when he was breathing. So he drives himself to the fucking emergency room. All right. Hold on a second here. Daisy, we can't have this. She's trying to get Bruce aroused. Oh, man. Anyway, Paul's in discomfort, and he goes to the hospital. So I get a message at about this time, I think it was. Yeah, I'm in the hospital. Emergency room, chest pains. Like, oh, shit. So then my brother Jim is closest to him. And so the four boys, Jim, Eric, Mike, Paul, are all informed. Paul's in the hospital. They run a series of tests on him. We're wondering what the fuck is up. They put him through like a stress test protocol, get a snapshot of his heart when it's working. And they're like, not sure. We got to do a heart catheterization. So, that's weird. And so then yesterday they go in, and this is always so amazing to me that they can go in with whatever device it is up a small little blood vessel and weave it through your body and actually look at what's going on specifically in your heart. Oh, my God. And they determined that what they suspected was it could be like a blockage of one of those coronary blood vessels that feeds oxygen-filled blood to your heart. Could have been some type of blockage, but it didn't make sense because he didn't really have all the signs and symptoms of that, and his cholesterol is good, and so they weren't sure. But what ultimately they figured out was, no, it wasn't like blockage. It requires like a stent or some shit like that. He's got something called a myocardial bridge or something like that, where one of those blood vessels is kind of like almost surrounded by heart tissue, which almost like chokes it to some degree, if you could picture that. So good news, bad news. Well, actually, all just good news. Just some basic medication will regulate that. And so he's good to go. But I couldn't tell him enough how impressed I was with the first sign of something going wrong. He got his ass to the hospital, and that is the way to go, especially as we age. Fucking A, don't fuck around with that shit. Get to the hospital. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. But he's okay, and he's fine. It's perfect timing. I mean, you got the fucking week off, and now you're back home. Thanksgiving, and then Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, back to work Monday. I'm so happy that you are okay. And I think we had a nice moment there with my dad. Truth be told, these two sweet souls, my dad and Paul, they oftentimes, over the years, would cross paths, like Mr. Perry's funeral or a wedding. And it's always nice. There's always a nice conversation. And then that's it, And I think that when my dad's like, you distance me. Dad's going back to ancient history, because when those two, in the early parts of their relation, when Paul was a kid, my dad was not so nice. And he was not nice at all. This was a different man. And, well, I mean, when you, I don't want to say too much. All I'll say is that Paul and Mike, my oldest brothers, were not happy with my father at all. At all. Not good. So that's what you get. That's what you get. So if Paul is like, you know what? Good to see you. Nice to see you. And keep it at that. That's totally cool too. I respect everybody's decision in any of this scenario, and I think I'm hitting the nail right on the head. Paul's a good man. Paul is absolutely fantastic. And he writes, in addition to good health, I got to talk to Ruben. He is a changed man, thanks to God. I love that. You've made me very happy with saying that. You're very, very sweet. All right. So, the long and the short of it is, when my mom married my dad, my mom, God rest her soul, had two children, Michael and Paul. And their father left when before Paul was even born. So my mother, with the help of my grandmother, Irene, in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, was left to fend for herself. And then she met my dad. My dad had a son at the time named Norman from his first marriage. So these two start dating. They get married, my dad and my mom. My dad adopts Michael and Paul. Then my mom and dad have two kids. Jim is next, and then Eric. So then we were all raised. Now, when I was growing up, my dad left the house at 8. There may have been moments that I saw Mike and or Paul running through the house in fear that my dad was going to kick their ass. And I think a time or two he may have caught them. This is why you don't beat the shit out of your kids. It can have a long-term effect. And so, I think to this day you might get conflicting stories about that, but I'm team Mike and Paul on this one. When you get older, you sometimes forget. I don't know. But thank God that time has at least caused the scarring so that these people could have go ahead and have productive lives and shit like that. But I love them all. I love them all. I'm just tickled that you're here, Paul. Paul says, I think you saw Mike's penis growing up. Nope. I don't think I've ever seen Mike's penis. The first penis I ever saw other than my own was my dad's. I'll never forget it. We were at a gas station urinal. And I was like, look at that thing. It's massive. Now, I don't know if it actually was gigantic, but maybe it was because mine was so small as a little boy. I was like, what the fuck? How does that even fit in your pants? Look at that thing. It's huge. I sure hope he's not watching this because I would be very, very awkward when I see him tomorrow about penis. There's been a lot of talk about family members' penises on this show today. Let's just say that. Okay. I have not enough time left on this show and plenty of sponsors to still talk about. And plenty of things that I want to share with you still on this show. Before I get to that, though, do keep in mind that the Great Food Giveaway happens on Thursday, December 22nd, I believe. I forget it every time. Is that right? Yeah, it is right. So just under 1 month away. For the third year in a row, we get together on the side of the road at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. The first 2 years, we had 100 boxes full of Christmas dinner. This year, it's 200 boxes we will have. All right? In every one of those boxes is a Christmas ham, canned vegetables, bag of potatoes, big old jar of gravy in case you don't like to make your own, King's Hawaiian rolls, and a pumpkin pie. Each one of those boxes has a price tag. We buy it from our friends at Meyer and Jennison. Josh from the Meyer, Jennison Meyer, puts all this shit together for me. But it's a transaction. It's a cash transaction. I go in, we buy the food, we put the food in a trailer, we box it all up. Mike Ball, thank you as always. And then we give it away. No questions asked. There is expense, obviously, to pay for all this. All right? And this is how we're doing it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you're filling my Venmo and PayPal accounts, which I then tell you and keep you up to date as to how much money is in there as we work our way. Right now, we're approaching $2,000. I'm thinking the cost of all of these meals will be north of $4,000. Venmo at Eric-Zaitunian, Zeitunian. Links in the show notes. PayPal at Eric Zane Show. If you do it on PayPal, give it as a gift, and PayPal doesn't take any money out. We take all that money, and then we buy the goods. I will need volunteers to help give away the food. That's always a good time. Megan says, do we have a time? 10 a.m., noon? I'm sorry, that's Sarah. Do we have a time? 10 a.m., noon? I think Megan has a time in mind. And I don't want to say what it is because I, of course, forget. Paul writes, how do you spell Zaitunian? Paul was so pissed off when he was growing up about getting his ass kicked that his first fuck you, excuse me, was I'm getting my name changed. So he did. He changed his last name to my mother's name. Oh, eat shit. That is fucking sweet. I love that. Yes, he has my mother's name now. Rising. Great name, by the way. All right. Yeah, let us know what time. Need to take time off that day. I'm guessing 2-ish. I'm not sure what time. But I'll let you know. We got a month. Relax. It'll be okay. So there you go. That's what's up with the Great Food Giveaway. Thank you. I got some donations yesterday. I appreciate that so very much. I never write it down. Let's see. And again, I doubt we have even 20 people who've donated because I know a lot of people wait, and that's totally cool. But the quicker we get the money secured, the less I stress, you know. And I got some big donations, $500, two $500 donations from Irvine's and Mike Ball. There have been some other big ones. I see Sarah Rook-Ruck-Roosh just dropped a ton of cash. I appreciate that so much. And let's see, Laura in New Jersey. Thank you. And there's probably a few more that I'm missing. If I've missed you, I'm so sorry. Brian M. Stevie yesterday. Thank you, Stevie. So keep them coming, even if it's $1 or $5 or $10. Do not feel bad about that. You get no judgment, but our strength is in numbers. You know, I'm not Joe Rogan, but at the same time, I get 45, 50,000 people downloading the audio podcast every week. Okay. There's hundreds that listen and enjoy the show live every morning. So you know how it is. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Bosco's Pub, home of the new Gaslight Burger. Go to Bosco's Pub in Hudsonville, Michigan, and enjoy. Best burgers in town. The drinks are cold. The drinks are stiff. The beers are cold. The burgers are the best. Drinks are stiff. So are the dongs at Bosco's Pub. Love Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. As you know, the place for audience members in West Michigan to get their vehicles repaired. 616-532-6600. ERVines, Irvines.com is their website. I love them so much. They've really, not only do they help me in being a sponsor, but I have a trusted place to get my vehicles repaired. And now I've got other family members like my son, Jim. The funniest fucking story in the world was, Dad, this car is dead, my van. And I go, okay. Yeah, I can't get it into this other place. I go, well, I tell you what, just take it to Irvine's. He gets the car there. And, this is fantastic. If you haven't heard this story yet, it just happened. And, the gas gauge is broken on this vehicle. And Irvine's could not figure out why it wouldn't start. And then they went, uh-oh. They put gas in the vehicle, and it started up. They determined what was wrong with it. It had no gas. Towed to the facility. Everybody at the place is scratching their head. Ain't got no gas in it. Sling Blade. Ain't got no gas in it. Holy shit. I got Jim, the vehicle. Actually, Jim's the one who told me, he goes, yeah, the vehicle had no gas, Dad. I go, oh, my God. But thank God he was there. Thank God it was there because they determined that the back brakes were ruined and he needed new brakes. So we took care of that. How funny is that? It had no gas. Referring to the Gaslight Burger, does the Gaslight Burger come with a side of black-eyed peas? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Dumpster divers, get a dumpster from Dumpster Divers. DumpsterDiversLLC.com. Call or text 616-375-9962 for Dumpster Divers. They're dumpsters. Okay, when it comes to a dumpster, you're just throwing shit in it. So, I mean, what can I talk about that separates them from any other dumpster company? Well, two things. First of all, their dumpsters are tall, not long. They occupy less space. So if you're in tight quarters, you get a dumpster like that, it can fit, all right? Has the same amount of space capacities, all their different size dumpsters, but isn't so long in your friggin' driveway. Also, priced cheaper. Most important. Dumpster Divers dumpsters are cheaper because, the other dumpster guys, what they do is they put a weight limit on it and price it accordingly for a weight that you can't possibly attain even if you fill it full of shingles and bowling balls. So Dumpster Divers are cheaper dumpsters. 616-375-9962 or dumpsterdiversllc.com. They also do junk removal and demolition work. Understand that when you do the first hour of the show commercial free, this is what happens. It's either you're going to get it spaced out evenly during the show or you're going to get a big wad of sponsors. Either way, you're going to get it. So, sorry for this big pile of sponsors that I'm just ramming down your throat, but it's kind of how it goes. This is how we stay in business. Hire me on Cameo, cameo.com. Get your insurance from My Policy Shop Insurance when it comes to healthcare.gov, Obamacare, Social Security, or Medicare. My Policy Shop Insurance. Frank Fuss. Find him at 616-914-4070 or the website buyinsurancehere.com. One more, and then when I end the show in 15 minutes, I'll have three more. I know. Van Dyke Mortgage. Refinance your house. Get money out of your home to pay off the high-interest credit cards. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Any state in the U.S. with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, and South Carolina. Okay, now we're back. I can't wait to play this for you. It's long, but it's great. It's not that. It's long, but it's great. Woody Harrelson is honoring Michael J. Fox, giving him the Governor's Award for his work at being an advocate for Parkinson's disease. Michael J. Fox, who really, really fantastic. You remember that clip I showed you of him and guy who played Doc on Back to the Future, of those two having that moment at that Comic-Con or whatever? But here, this is great because Woody Harrelson is talking about how sweet and funny Michael J. Fox is, and he's just riffing. He's sharing anecdotal stories and I always love this, and I'm a huge fan of Woody Harrelson. Hang on a second. I'm messing this up. I don't know if this is going to work. I'll be pissed off if it is. Oh, shit. Aw. Hang on. Give me a second. Regroup. After all of that, there. Is that it? Is it there? I don't think it is. Oh, embarrassing. Okay, well, I'm going to save this then for the Patreon. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, there it is. Oh, thank God. Thank God. That was almost terribly awkward. Okay, here you go.
Hello.
This guy is awesome. I love Woody.
Award is given to an individual in the motion picture industry whose humanitarian efforts have brought credit to the industry. To his cause, Michael J. Fox has brought understanding, empathy, and resolve, and with it, inspiration to millions who now stand a little taller, speaking a voice a little stronger.
Jesus, he's feeling the effect of the tremors. Not only that, but he's making this water glass shake.
And with it, inspiration to millions who now stand a little taller, speaking a voice a little stronger. And
by the way, Harrelson looks great. Look at him.
Hold on just a little tighter to something all of humanity needs a whole lot more of: hope. I was at a party in Hollywood, and I don't recall the specifics of the time, other than it was in the mid-'80s, and it was a Thursday, and it was about 8:34 p.m. Other than that, I don't really remember, but naturally, I was in the kitchen, where all good parties end up, and I just stepped outside for a little air. And suddenly, I come back, seemed like everyone at the party just evaporated. So I walk into the living room, and there is everybody watching a television show. So I stopped and watched, and there was this kid who looked to be in high school on the screen, and he was electric. What he could do with a look or a pause. I was watching a phenomenon in the making. And I think of myself as pretty funny, and very funny when I'm high. But this guy was a master class in comedy. And that was my first introduction to Michael J. Fox. A year or two later, he did Back to the Future. He was the biggest star in the world. And we were having a Cheers Christmas party. I know you remember this, Mike. And he came by, and this was when I first actually got to meet him, and he was incredibly gracious. And he loved the show, and he loved my character, I will say. And he has this amazing ability when people approach him to tell him how great he is. He turns the tables and he makes those people feel great. And I would see him do this so many times.
That's what I do with Kenney. I can't tell you how many times Kenney has come up to me to tell me how great I am. And I've made him feel wonderful. I think every time I've spoken to Kenney, I have never, ever made him feel bad.
Over so many years. Mike he's a genuinely great guy. What can I say? He's Canadian. And we had a nice chat, and then he got up on stage with the band who was doing Johnny Be Good, and he did his solo from Back to the Future. And I can tell you, everyone from the Cheers cast and crew felt very lucky to witness this performance, other than one lady who was not feeling Christmassy and who promptly kicked him out.
Oh!
Yes. And that woman became my wife.
Oh!
Sorry, it's a cheap joke. No, but anyway. So I had this company making round beach towels. So now when the sun moves, your towel doesn't have to. Yeah, this is, I tell you, it was another one of those savant investments that's really kept me in fine fettle all these years. So I brought over to Mike a couple of towels as an apology for getting kicked out of the party, and he said, let's hang out sometime. And I said, okay, yeah, let's hang out sometime. And we became good friends. A bit later, he recommended me for a part in a film called Doc Hollywood. And that's good, the old people cheering. But it was my leap from...
By the way, he's fucking killing it. This is fantastic. I love shit just like this.
Cheers to the big screen, and I owe it to you, Mike. And... but anyway, one morning while we were in Florida, his pinky was twitching, and he wasn't sure if it was from the 20 minutes of slap boxing we'd done in the parking lot the night before. So he saw a doctor who was the first doctor who suggested to him he might have Parkinson's. He told me, and I just couldn't believe it because there is such an invincible superhuman quality about Mike. All of you who know him know that's true. Well, he never missed a step, never wallowed in self-pity as I would have done. And instead, he turned a chilling diagnosis into a courageous mission. I went to visit him in Thailand when he was filming Casualties of War. And one night, Mike took us into the jungle, and we stopped at this little hut. And Mike, ran out of the car. This kid runs up to him, and he hands him like thousands of baht, which probably amounted to about $16. And then the kid led him to this little space that had a chest-high wall of concrete around it, and they both jumped over it. So I run up to the wall. I couldn't believe it. I look in there, and Mike is sitting next to this kid with dozens of cobras all around them, ready to strike. And no jest. And the kid was toying with these cobras. He would stick his knee in front of him, and then the cobra would try to strike, and he'd just move his knee in time, and then just smack him in the back of the head. He taunted a bunch of these cobras, and then he found the orneriest cobra, grabbed it by the neck, threw it in a cage with the mongoose, where I saw the craziest fight I've ever seen between any animals, other than studio executives. And you guys know I'm kidding, of course. And the mongoose won. They took the snake, tied it by its tail, wrung the blood out, half filled 4 glasses with cobra blood and half with Thai whiskey. Drinking the cobra blood is called becoming brother to the snake. Mike and I drank lots of things together, and he can hold his own. What can I say? He's Canadian. But Mike promptly vomited his snake cocktail. He never could hold his cobra blood. Anyway, I said I thought it was one of the funniest jokes I ever said. I said, "Hey, Mikey, he likes it." Well, they didn't get it laugh then, but it's gratifying now. Anyway, the famed acting coach Stella Adler reminded us that the word theater comes from the Greeks. It means...
This is when he's reading. He just started. All of that was no reading. Now he's reading.
The seeing place. It is a place people come to see the truth about life. Michael J. Fox never asked for the role of Parkinson's patient or disease advocate. But make no mistake, it is his greatest performance. Michael brought the world to the seeing place where we all feel invested in finding a cure for a cruel disease. Vulnerable, yes. A victim, never. An inspiration, always. And
That's fantastic.
And a living, breathing symbol and singular voice to help advance progress toward a cure through the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. So far, he's raised over $1 billion for the cause. Someone once told me, people will remember your example, not your advice. I mean, I advised him, is that necessarily true? No. But Michael J. Fox sets the ultimate example of how to fight and how to live. And today, he is as beloved for his activism as he is for his acting. Please join me for a look at the life and a snapshot of the story of someone whose immense talent is surpassed only by the depth of his courage and his commitment to a cause. I love you, brother.
And that's where it ends. Look, I'll just say this. That was all fantastic. Woody Harrelson is a freaking treasure. I love that guy. That was every bit of that was spectacular. My God, was that great. Talk about holding court. Absolutely awesome. Fantastic. Bravo, bravo, bravo. All right. We're winding the show up. Wrapping it up, I should say. No one says we're winding it up. Cameo.com, I talked about them. Buy a t-shirt, ericzaneshow.com. Book a party at TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Love you guys. We still got to plan Paintball War number 21 with TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Book a party. Reach out to them at TC Paintball. Go to the website. All the information you need is there. Could be workplace team building, kids in the neighborhood, bachelor party, bachelorette party, whatever it may be. Some bro time. Blow off some steam and have some fun. TC Paintball, indoor, outdoor paintball in West Michigan. Thank you, Kent County Health Department. World AIDS Day coming up December 1. There is hope for people who are diagnosed with HIV, but you got to get diagnosed first. You got to take a test. Reach out to my friends at the Kent County Health Department. accesskent.com/health is how you do that. And batting cleanup today, A&E Heating and Cooling. 616-516-8579 to get in touch with the immortal Joe Martinez, who installs the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners. Get a furnace tune-up and cleaning, because if you haven't done that and that thing's working a little harder to pump the warm air into your home, you are more likely to, first of all, run very uneconomically, and potential for a breakdown is much higher. 616-516-8579. Yesterday's Asshole of the Day, brought to you by TC Paintball, was that pedophile Fred Rogers. Yesterday, the discussion of Fred Rogers, it kind of opened up the Pandora's box of the blues for our pal Kenney. That, I have a feeling, hurt him in a way that we were talking about his beloved Fred Rogers that way. And it's not our fault that Fred was like that. If you choose to not believe that, that's entirely on you. But that was the beginning of Kenney getting the blues, and I hope now we have turned that around for him. And I hope now he is accepting that Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, was in fact really into child rape. Today's Asshole of the Day. Do any of you have any nominations? We talked about I don't even know what we talked about in the first hour. I think a lot of it was trying to bring real Kenney back in to the pack because he was upset. I had a wonderful time with dear Meathead. Yeah, I don't even know who the asshole of the day was. I'm writing the name down, but just because I have to put something down, I don't. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, no asshole of the day. I've got a nomination for Nate Bull. Asshole of the day, Eric Zane himself. Why would I be the asshole of the day? I'm fantastic. I did nothing. Marvel Studios producer Nate Moore. Don't know what that means. Nate, for not answering your call. I can't do that. Nate's done nothing. Bob says, Kenney. When in doubt, just make it Dean. Asshole of the day, Boring Dean, brought to you by TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. That is my time today on the free podcast. We will be back with the Patreon bonus podcast, ad-free Patreon bonus. Won't you please consider signing up for at least 1 month? See if you like it. $5 or $10 a month. That is one of the ways that I stay in business because of the listener-supported ad-free Patreon content. Till then, have a great one, and I'll talk to you down the road. Thank you so much, folks. Bye-bye.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.